Okay guys, so this time around we're going to be doing a bit of a review on our Kitty Hawk, the F-35B Lightning II. Okay, this is a fairly controversial kit. There's some people that absolutely hate this aircraft because of its, I don't know, probably because it's more to do with the real aircraft as in how expensive it is and its shortcomings and things like that. But as far as the kit goes, some people love it, some people hate it. I'm one of the people who love it. I think that's such an ugly bird. It really needs to be built. It's just it's so ugly. It's beautiful, if you know what I mean. Okay, so Kitty Hawk's been around for a little while now, and as we all know, their kits are sort of hit and miss as far as fit problems and things like that. But this is one of those ones where the competition, the only other Lightning IIs you got around, sort of not in comparison to this. This is sort of bounced ahead a little bit as far as detail and things like that go. The build construction, apparently some of the other kits are a little bit more detailed in the build, but this guy here apparently has got it pretty well right as far as the engravings and the you know, all the stuff that goes on it. So apparently it's not a simple kit to build. It's a little bit complex. There's a couple of fit issues in there, but if you're a modeler like me who actually enjoys the build, it shouldn't be a problem, guys. It's just going to make it fun to have a couple of little fit issues that you've got to sort out. But like I say, beautiful looking aircraft. I think even just looking at that box art, that is stunning. So that's the first thing in this review, is that box art. I think that is beautiful. When I built this kit, I'm actually going to take that box art, I'm going to cut that lid off there, and I'll laminate that, and that'll be one of the posters in my little workshop here, or my man cave as we like to call it. Okay, the rest of the box, we've got a few pics down here of a couple of the markings, different markings that we can have. I will probably go with this one here simply because it makes it a bit more colourful with that nice tail on it. You can have the old faded grey look and have the faded decals. Just got my pencil there, so I'm going to have to point with something else. Just give me a second, guys. Okay, I'll point with my little stick here. Okay, so this one here is more of that, just that grey colour. In the box here we've got our item number is KH80102. Okay, just the same as we've got on the front, that box art. This one here is a little bit different again, just probably another set of markings that we'll get inside. They're very nice boxes. These are very sturdy. Kitty Hawk, all their boxes are the same, very, very nice to look at. So what we'll do now, guys, we shall open it up and we'll have a look inside at the goodies. Okay, first up we have, now this has been opened. A friend of mine was over here the other day and had opened it up to have a look through it because he's looking at buying one, so I said, you know, go and open my kit first just to have a look at it and see what you think. Okay, here's our instructions. The front cover there is obviously that beautiful photo, a beautiful painting on the front there. So first up we have our layout here of our sprues. Now one of the things that someone did bring up, one of the other reviews I had read, is these sprues, the labels, and other Kitty Hawks and other kit manufacturers do this as well. The little tabs that they have in there with the numbers, like or the letters of the sprues, like the A, B, C, or whatever, are just little tiny tabs in that sprue somewhere. They're fairly hard to spot. Now at first it's not a problem because you can just look back at this for a reference. But once you start taking parts off these sprues, it's going to be a bit harder because you can't sort of compare, okay, these parts with these parts and whatever. It's going to be a little bit, you know, less parts on there. It's going to be a bit harder to pick them. So one of the tricks I use, and I'll just show you quickly now since we're talking about that, it's just a bit of tape like this, and this is just low tack cheap stuff I got for, like, you know, 20 cents from somewhere. Okay, so you just peel that off, you wrap it around your one of your screw tabs, like on the side of your sprue somewhere, and sort of fold it, double it over on itself, like, so if that's your sprue there, double it over, stick it back on itself like so, tear a tab off and have a nice big tab like that. Now what you can do is grab yourself a pen, which is what I dropped there before, but what you would do is just write on there A. Okay, normally I have like a thick felt pen. I do that. So what that does is just, you can just look for those tabs in your box then when you start building, and it just makes them easier to spot, and you can just pick them out a lot easier. It's a great little tip for whenever you're building any kit, basically, because it saves you looking at the corners of sprues and trying to find, oh, is that the B tree or the A tree or whatever. that's a great little one, guys. The other thing you do is get different coloured post-it notes so it separates them, and after a while you'll start to get used to the colours, like the yellow's the A, the blue's the B, and so on. So that's just a quick little tip there while we're going through this. Okay, instructions here. Now first up, typical aircraft layout, we start with our cockpit here. Now it looks like the cockpit is fairly adequate for what we're after. We've got a decal here for our instrument panel, which I'm not a big fan of decals for instruments, but it's going to depend on how much you're going to be able to see into that cockpit. A lot of cockpits are fairly well closed in and you're not going to see much in there anyway, but we'll have a look at this area here when we open the sprues up and have a look and see if there's any dials on there we can actually paint on or whatever, or whether we have to use that decal sheet. Now again, there's probably aftermarket kits, and if there is, I'll list them below and put links to them below. Okay, so that's our cockpit area with the seat and everything. Looks like we've got our front landing housing here with the wheel. Looks like there's a few little parts to put that together, and then it's just like the landing wheel, the nose and everything sort of goes together there. Looks like we're going to start doing our turbines and stuff then. Okay, that's fairly straightforward, guys. Now I know there is a fit issue here somewhere with the drive shaft and the fans. Now I think that's more to do over here somewhere, but as you go through, I was looking at a review before and they were saying that the drive shafts and fans, they just do not fit, not even close. It's like they're not even supposed to go there. But so you will have to do a little bit of work. I think it may be this area here, your fans, and that's your shaft in there. So I'd say it'll be this area here, guys. You're going to have to do a bit of work to get these to fit. I'm not 100% that's where it is, but we'll see. It might even be this area here, I'm not sure. But whatever it is, we'll work it out, guys. But just remember, there's going to be a bit of work in getting that right. Apparently it's not even close. Again, we have our wheel wells here, wheel assembly. This is for your rear wheels, your landing wheels. It's not too complex, just a couple of the basic parts. Looks fine. Over here, some more wells. Bit of fuselage coming together there, and everything goes together in the back here. So that looks fairly straightforward, guys. This doesn't look too complex up to this point. And then your whole fuselage all goes together. And then we start on our wings, apparently. Now these look a little bit more complex, a little bit more going on here, which is nice. I'm sure that'll make them look a bit more detailed than having just one big wing with, you know, just the panel lines drawn into it. You have separate parts and it just looks more realistic. Once they're together, they actually go on there, weapon loadouts, things like that. And then it's just all the attachment, guys, you know, your wheel covers, your wheel well covers and things like that. Same thing with all the inside hinges here, your tail planes, your canopy. Yep, so that's all fairly, and then your weapons, then you get your weapon loadout down the bottom here. The next part is one of my favourite parts with the kits, is when you get these beautiful colours where they're actually showing you decal layouts and paint colours and things like that. That's a gorgeous. I love these colour photos. That really gives you an idea of what's going to happen if you choose this option here. It gives you a great idea of what you're going to end up with. If you've got black and white, it gives you just a sneak preview. Basically, these things here gives you a really good idea of what it is you're going to end up with. Hence, on the back here is why I like this guide, because there's a bit of colour to break it up. I know it's artistic license, guys. It's something that I like. A lot of people don't like because it's just too colourful. But and it depends, you know, if you want to weather this up and make it look nice and grey and the faded decals and that, great option to go for these. But I really like that because it just breaks that colour up. Like I say, those colour photos, fantastic. I just wish more kit makers would go that way. Okay, so that's our instruction sheet. So let's have a look at our fuselage halves here. Okay, guys, there's some really nice detail on these guys. You've got your raised areas here all over the top. Very, very nicely done, actually. I think you can pick that up in the camera or raise it up a little bit closer, so you definitely can. You can see there, very, very nicely done. Very nice. And the bottom's the same, guys. Just, yeah, very, very nice. I don't see any flash. I did read somewhere, and it looks like they may be right. When you go to put these together, both sides have got female, yeah, they have. They've got female receptors on both sides. So which is a bit odd, but it shouldn't be a problem. We'll still know what to do with it. Okay, and this sprue here, looks like we've got our fans and stuff. Very, very nice. This is very finely detailed here. The detail and stuff on that is beautiful. Actually, these fans look really nice. Once you do a bit of weathering on those, very, very nice. All the injector pin marks look like they're on the right side, and they're hidden well enough back you're not going to see them. Yep, that all looks fine. So these bags, guys, Kitty Hawk's a little bit cheaper with their kits, and this is one of the reasons they can do it cheaper, because they don't staple their bags. It's only little things like that that actually cut costs. Okay, I'm not saying they're the cheapest kit around, but this is one of the ways they cut costs, just very simple bags. But so you can see the detail on these, absolutely exquisite. That is very nice. All these wells, beautiful. That's the side of the seat here. Hopefully the camera will pick those up for you. Absolutely exquisite detail on those. I can't see any injector pin marks on there. And one of the beautiful things with this kit, we have actually got a pilot in here if you choose to use the pilot, and he's got his breather hose coming out of his helmet and everything. That's a very, very nice touch. That a lot of people won't use it, but it's good to have it. We have got a bit of flash going on up here, guys. That's yeah, a little bit nasty on some of that, but I mean, it should be able to clean up fine. But you got seam lines on a lot of this stuff that you'll have to clean up, but that's typical kit stuff. It doesn't matter what kit it is, you're going to get that. Next sprue. Okay, again, just beautiful detail built into this, guys. Absolutely beautiful. Just the rivets up here on these guys, so fine, very, very nice. Got our seat there. Seat looks fairly ordinary. Once we put the sides on it, it's still a little bit plain. It's probably sort of screaming out for your seat, your harnesses and things like that, which, you know, we can look at that when we get to doing the build, whether we really need to put that in there or not. But very nice detail. Very little flash that I can see. There's a couple little spots, but just that's so minimal. There's a couple on these up here. Very, very minimal. It won't take much to clean that up at all, guys. Yeah, very impressed with it actually, very nice. Our next bag of goodies we have in here. Take these guys out. So obviously this is our wings, tail wings, things like that. Now again, the detail on these is, if I can get that camera to focus, it can be a bit of a pain, this camera, I'm sorry guys. It's only actually a still camera that I bought, that my daughter bought, and it's not really meant for video cameras, but it's all I've actually got at the moment. But hopefully you can see, if that's close enough, you can see the rivet detail on this. Absolutely superb. Tyres are fairly standard, but that rivet detail is just superb on there, guys. Very nice. A little bit of flash going on here, not a lot, just so I can see a little bit around here. Almost breaks off on its own. It's nothing too severe, nothing you can't take care of. Very nice. Tail wings, again, beautiful rivet detail and detail going on down in here. Hopefully you can pick that up. Absolutely beautiful, guys. This sort of thing really does it for me. It's very, very nice. Now, landing gear, again, like a lot of kits, you're going to have these seam lines you need to clean up, but that's quite nicely done. Again, plenty of detail in there. I mean, it's not overboard. It's probably not the most detailed kit I've ever seen, but honestly, for what it is, very nice. Okay, we've got our canopy going on here. I don't really need to take that out of the bag or other glass parts. Canopy looks quite nice in there. Nice and clean. There's no flash going on there. Very good. And we have, okay, we'll take this little guy out of the corner here first. Okay, again, the detail going on here, guys, is just, this camera to focus up on this for you, if you can see that. And there's all rivet detail going on in here. Hopefully you can see that. Absolutely exquisite, just beautiful stuff. Really can't wait to build this one. There's going to be a beautiful kit. I'm really looking forward to it. And I know there's some fit issues and things like that, but that's all part of the fun. Okay, we have our cockpit tub here. That looks fairly well detailed. It's not over the top and it's not underdone. I think that's quite adequate without having to worry too much about it. So that's okay. Our instrument panel, as we were saying, I was worried that which it is, it's going to have to be a decal in the middle of there, which is a bit of a shame. It's always nice if they put the dials on there and you can choose between the decal set or painting your own dials, and this one here is going to have to be the decal set, guys. Hopefully it'll be in underneath a little bit and you're not going to see it all that well, and you can use the decals. If not, we may have to look and get a, like an Edward self-adhesive set or something to put in there. But other than that, there's details around the side, down the housing at the bottom here. Beautiful, all bar the missing dials on the face here. All in here, look, it's the same all over this kit. The beautiful riveting detail. I can see a bit of flash down there will have to be cleaned up. If you're going to be showing any inside any of these, that flash will have to be cleaned up. But there's no injector pin marks anywhere that you would see, even inside the tubs. I've seen a couple back on that other one, but it's one of those things, if you're going to have a mirror underneath to show up inside your landing gear wells and that, you always normally have to clean up injector pin marks, but it's fine. But look, everything else here, the detail's just exquisite, guys. It's a beautiful looking kit. The plastic's the typical Kitty Hawk. It's not soft, it seems fairly that brittly sort of stuff, and it's all moulded in the same colour. There's no changes there. Okay, we've got decals going on down here. Now the decals seem to be very nice. Actually, I can see there's a little bit of overlay where there's probably the risk of silvering, but not a lot. They're not overly bad. I've seen them much worse. I'd be tempted myself to actually trim those off. I'll get a ruler or a razor and go through and trim the edges off just in case you get silvering on those. I can see our decals here for our instrument panel, and but look, it's fairly dark with just a couple of little details. I'll try and get that up to the camera for you, hopefully, if I can get it close enough and the camera focuses for you, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. It'll probably be fine for what we're after, but nice and colourful. And I was to say, these are the ones, probably the ones I will be using. And this sheet here, no, so this is for more. Oh, we've got some Australian markings, very, very nice. Being an Aussie, very, very nice. That's absolutely beautiful to see those little kangaroos on there. But these are your grey decals for the more grey monotone coloured ones. Again, very nice. I can see where you would get a bit of silvering. Some of these, like this writing in here, these little guys, you will definitely get silvering there if you're not careful. Just a little bit of excess on some of these, but it's again, it's not overly bad, guys. And if you've got a bit of a gloss going on there when you do this, use a bit of Future or settling solution or something. You shouldn't have too much of a problem. But myself, when I do decals, if they've got that sort of potential to silver, I actually trim that off. It's a pain and everything, but it just saves you at the end of the day. But that's quite nice decal sheets. I'm really impressed to have those Australian markings in there. I actually didn't expect that. Okay, so here's our instrument panel again. This must be the self-adhesive rub-on one, I would say. I'll get this to focus. Forgive my nails, I've been playing around with models again and I've got paint and everything under my nails, but yeah. So anyway, guys, that looks very nice from what I can see. Don't worry, I will protect those decals in a minute. Actually, I might do that now in case I don't get back down trying to take them out. Side and I'll rebag them again. So as I say, guys, very nice looking kit. This is only an inbox review. When I go to build it, I would definitely give you a shout out to let you know we're about to start building this, and I'll go through it step by step, and any fit problems and things like that, I'll definitely be letting you guys know, getting you in on it. I mean, it's one of those things. I'm one of those modelers. I don't actually mind a couple of fit problems. It makes the hobby fun when you've actually got to work at it to get it right. So anyway, guys, that's our review for this guy. I don't think there's anything else to tell you on this. If there's any add-ons, any aftermarket stuff we can buy for this kit, I'll put links below for you. I'll put links to references and stuff like that again below in these videos. And like I say, if we do the build, guys, I'll let you know about that as well. But just by going from the box review, it's another kit that I'm really excited to get to and start building. But I've said that probably about 1,000 kits now, and I don't think I'm going to live that long. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the review. Let me know in the comments below. anything you want to see in these reviews or anything you want me to cut out in the reviews in future. If you haven't subscribed, please sub to me below, and yeah, I'll see you next video. Thanks guys.